Okay, boys. All right, boys. One take. Blind style is definitely better. A little bit trickier doing everything in just take, but I think overall it's probably an easier format for me. Really don't care. Anybody joins this call, then they join the call. They will wait and not start yelling shit out. That would be ideal. Otherwise, I will go over the two trades today. One of them I took, one of them I didn't. I should have taken both of them. Let me go over really quickly the one that I didn't take. This one was over here first. I really liked the way the price broke out of this triangle right here, this trend line. We got a trend line breakout, which is what I traded a long time ago. It's not what I trade now, but it's just additional confluence. We pushed down, we took out London lows, pre-market lows, London lows, and we had one more London low that we didn't quite get, but we were making an insane SMT on ES as well. If you can tell over here, we actually swept this final low, and we didn't get that on NQ. We made a bullish SMT. We pushed up. We were inside bullish fair value gaps on the higher time frame. So we had a 15-minute here and a 1 hour here. So to back us, we had a pretty good bullish intent. We had an inverse 5-minute right here. This is out marked in red here. Show you really quick. Fucking bitch. So you can see here we had a bearish fair value gap. We inversed it, and then we came back in after testing the trend line, and we got reactions off of this inverse fair value gap in the 5 minutes. So we were butting against an inverse fair value gap on the 5 minute, as well as all of these fair value gaps on the higher time frame as well. After we swept this liquidity, basically what we were trying to do here was look for bullish momentum. And then my setup, as you might know so far, but might not know, for me to enter, I need a cyst, I need a high time frame sweep, I need an internal sweep, and I need price to retrace back to the equilibrium of whatever fair value gaps were created before the cyst was created. So it sounds confusing. It's not that bad. My strategy is essentially we pushed up after we sweep this high time frame highs down here, and then we, after pushing up, we got this cyst right here on the 1 minute, which all we look for is 1 minute cyst. We retraced back the equilibrium / order block. You can call it whatever you want. Really, I use the equilibrium of these gaps. It's the same shit as an order block. I mean, it is an order block, but I just try to get a little bit more precise entries. And actually, this one would have been a sniper entry. This was exactly too thick that I needed to actually enter this trade and tick. I don't even know if I would have gotten filled on this or not. The reason I didn't fill on this in real time, unfortunately, I was just messing around with my risk. I had adjusted it to this later high right here, and I just didn't get the risk in time. I honestly also was a little skeptical. I didn't like the way that we swept these 1 minute highs, and honestly, I should have still taken it. I know my strategy works. I know that it makes money in the long term, and I should have been in this, to be honest with you. It was a perfect trade, a 1 to 2 with no opposing gaps in the way. With opposing gaps in the way, that brings us to our next trade here. This one we did have an opposing gap. Very similar situation here. We swept high time frame liquidity. If you look on the 15-minute here, we swept this liquidity up here. Actually, I think it's, jeez, dude, TradingView is so great. We swept all this liquidity over here that was generated on Friday. We swept up here. Got reactions off this high time frame for value gap as well. We have a 15-minute. I believe it was butting up against a 30-minute as well. I was waiting for this. It did take a minute. This was towards the end of AM session, or towards the end of what I'm willing to trade for AM session. So we pushed down. We created our 1 minute cyst. Got a retrace into the middle of these two gaps. We were actually really close to getting stopped on this, but price just decided to react off the equilibrium of this gap that was a little, set further back. That's why we take the equilibrium, gives us a little bit better chance. This one we had it set for a 1 to 2, but unfortunately we created this micro little fair value gap right here, this half point fair value gap. In the future, if fair value gap that's in my way, obviously this was opposing, right? This isn't fair value gap here was in my way. It was something that we could have certainly reacted off of. And if you watch the trade live, we did actually react off this. We reacted and we pushed up probably 6 points, which with an 11 ATR is that's a lot. Um, so I mean, you never really know. So I took my contracts out here at a 1 to 1.1. Not an amazing risk reward, but as long as it's over 1, I'm okay with that. It did then flush down to my 1 to 2, maybe with a 0.5, a half a point or value gap in the future. I might not be taking my position out, or I might do what I did on Thursday and do more of a take maybe 1 or 2 contracts out. I was in this with 10 contracts, and essentially just hit my TP. This was for, I want to say, $100, copy traded on 3 accounts. So the title of this video is making, I think, $308. Not an amazing payday. It would have been insane if I would have had the whole thing. Like if I would have traded this trade earlier, it would have been probably damn near a $1,400 day. But I mean, that trade was done. We had to move on to the next one. We got this one. Luckily, we got something on the day. In the future, I want to say maybe just not quite, taking the weight of any fair value gap as, equal. Maybe we can go and say half point fair value gaps. We watch the reactions. Maybe we can not take out positions there. But honestly, if I'm being safe and paying myself, I need to be taking positions out here instead of letting it ride to 1 to 2. Honestly, it's just better when we have situations like this where we just don't get anything, no opposing confluence. Honestly, whenever there's opposing confluence, doesn't matter if it's even half a point, I still can see reactions off that. And I'm to the point where I would like to just win, regardless of, if I necessarily win the whole trade, the whole risk reward that it probably should be. I would rather just have a win under me. That's kind of how my psychology's been. So I kind of like the shorter wins. Other than that, as far as this one goes, I mean, really, I should have just put the limit in. I had the limit set, then I took the limit off. I readjusted my risk. When I put it back, price had already touched my order. There's just nothing I could really do about that. I just missed it. It was bad timing. In the future, hopefully, I can just kind of make that little adjustment where I can get that limit in a little bit quicker. But I think that's pretty much it for today. I will. I'll open it up. I think we got one. Franco. Any questions, Franco? This is what I do. It's not exactly what Creighton does. What's up?
Because I did see the whole thing happen.
Oh yeah, awesome. If you can't see the chart, it's on YouTube as well. I don't know if that might be a little bit better. Discord's so buggy. But I record all these.
I would love to.
Oh, go ahead.
I would love to.
It's just so it's my company, so it's Britson Trading LLC, I think. It's in the Discord as well. All of the trade recaps are in there. You go up to the top, it says trade recap. If you click on that, and it is live, it's live now as well. So that's another way to see the chart if you need to. But if you saw it live, then you probably don't need to. No.
Yeah.
Honestly, just going over it for the people that didn't get a live. I have a couple buddies that are trying to learn how to trade, and it's a little bit better to just give them the trade recaps versus especially if they miss AM session, which a lot of them work. Just another way. And this is a little bit different than what Creighton does. Creighton probably would have taken a similar trade today, but I grabbed something a little bit different. I like to scalp. I'm more of a scalper. Honestly, if you're learning both wouldn't be the worst thing, but his strategy works just as well as any. Me personally, I don't know. My psychology is a little bit different. I need to win. I'm crazy, man. I would rather take a small win than ride out huge wins and take more losses. I don't know. That's just how I try to be. Thank you. Appreciate that, man. I'm assuming. Do you have any questions? Anything I can answer?
But in
program. And I did watch a recent video. It was manipulation versus what's it called, displacement. And I know what displacement means. I mean, it's basically a fair value gap. Manipulation though, it kind of got me to it kind of I did understand it. I mean, it's a reversal basically, but I still need to see more examples of that, I guess, which I am gonna see more videos that have to do with that, if anything, on YouTube. I mean, there's plenty of information, but
So just the manipulation and distribution type, like what it looks like on a chart.
Yeah, basically.
I'll show you really quick. I'll show you what this one looked like, and this is part of the trade that I took earlier. And honestly, it's a good question. I'll use the box that I normally.
No, let me see if it even lets me.
Yeah, go ahead and see if you can. If not, jump on YouTube and look.
Wait, let me see.
It should be live. The theory is it's live. I can try and redo it. That worked. See if I can stop that and then start. Yeah. How's that? And if not, dude, just jump on YouTube. It's live as well. The same thing.
Yeah. No, it worked. It worked this time.
This time? Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. I'll show you the true manipulation for this morning. So obviously, a lot of times you'll get this when price action is actually acting like the way we want it to, which is what Craig and I obviously we say when it's bad price action, right? But this is how it's kind of supposed to be. So for manipulation, so this would be your accumulation, right? This you probably know. Accumulation is a little bit easier to spot. All this could be considered accumulation. Sorry. So this would be your accumulation, where you get this this big bit where it's just bouncing right off premium discount. There are people that trade this. It's a style, right? You kind of get this accordion looking pattern. It can happen straight across. It can accumulate downwards. It can accumulate upwards, right? There's different ways it can accumulate, but you know it's accumulation when you're not really taking any highs. You're getting a lot of really similar highs and lows, and then you're getting instant reactions back off, right? And it kind of creates this accordion looking pattern, right? So when you see something like this, and it happens mainly within like a channel or a zone, like that's why we have this marked out. You can seriously just, whoa, that's crazy. All right, this way. You can mark out like a channel like this. That's gonna even that outside. That's kind of what you have for your accumulation. A lot of times they happen in channels. It's not across, not always, you know, straight across. It's nice, but it's straight across. Not always though. But then obviously here you can spot the manipulation, right? So the manipulation today. Now the thing is, it's all with the time frames. It's crazy how it works on every time frame, right? So technically speaking, if you wanted to do a 1 minute manipulation, this was it. So there was a tiny little 1 minute manipulation right here. You see how this wick comes up and grabs these two highs. There's 1, 2, these two highs right here. This little wick right here comes up and grabs these two. And then right off that, you get instant reactions downward, and it just floods, right? Whenever you see a wick like this, like manipulation is most often going to be a wick. So a liquidity sweep most likely is going to be a wick. It can be like candles, like you can see. It's going to depend the time frame for one, but it's going to probably be a wick or two candles, like your bearish or bullish engulfing. Like this would look like a sweep. This isn't one. But that is kind of what it might look like, is if you have something like this and then an instant buy up. In this case, maybe the candle comes up and then it closes in an instant bearish candle that just floods. So this could have been your manipulation, and then obviously distribution would have been on the way down. But what I'm going to show you is more of a 5-minute this morning. TradingView actually allows me. Yes. Ooh, this looks really nice. So this is going to be pretty easy to spot, I think. You should be able, even from the videos, you'll be able to spot this. And this is very, very clean as well. It's honestly not always this clean, but this is very clearly your accumulation, right? Like that very obviously, it looks like an accordion. It looks like you're chopping. It's very clearly consolidation. You're, up, down, up, down, up, down. And a lot of times you'll even see it get tighter, and that's what breakout traders trade. So if you ever see this on my charts, you'll see a couple lines like this. Looks something maybe like this. And you might have saw it earlier. I deleted them off before I made this video just because it's not what we're trading. But a lot of times accumulation can look like this. And it's different strategy for sure. It's got the breakout traders trade this, but it's the same principle. The same idea, right? It's just essentially breakout traders use the accumulation and they put trend lines on it to try and guess where it bounces off of. And a lot of times that accumulation is about right. Like if you watch, there's a lot of touches of this trend line and whatnot. And what they do is they wait for breakouts and then retracements and whatnot. The way we can use trend lines and accumulation areas would be on the 5-minute here, we have accumulation, and the manipulation is here. Now, this is really, really, really strong manipulation. A lot of times it doesn't look exactly like this. This is crazy. This is one manipulation where we got a push down that was so strong, we actually also took out pre-market lows and London lows, and we got a bullish SMT on ES and NQ, right? We got an SMT that meant ES swept these London lows, where these final London lows, whereas NQ didn't quite get it, which is just another indication that we might be going upwards. So we got an SMT, we got accumulation, we got a manipulation, and this is one of the reasons why I was in a buy position and why okay, I guess technically on this trade I wasn't, but I tried to be. Technically I actually missed this one. Should have been in this trade. We got our clear manipulation downward and then accumulation just straight to the upside. You can see as soon as we grab these highs, or as soon as we grab these lows, sorry, we have very clear movement, just rocketing to the upside. Now, this is on the 1 minute, and this was obviously a little bit higher time frame manipulation, right? Like, it's going to look different on every time frame. Let's see if we can find, dude, it's so crazy. TradingView test these up. So, obviously, on the 15-minute, it looks a little more like your classic, maybe 1 minute smaller manipulation might look like, where it's you see the wick. Right, this looks a lot like manipulation, where you see the big wick down, comes back up, and a wick, obviously, any wick in any direction indicates buying or selling pressure. So if you see a wick like this, it's like, okay, buyers are stepping in, buyers are grabbing price, and we're pushing it back upwards. And then you see just this 15-minute massive bull candle to the upside, and we get a big old push to these external highs on the 15-minute. That would have been a really, really good trade, and that's pretty much your classic SMC. And I think there's a lot of other, honestly, it's like turtle soup. There's a lot of other strategies that also use that initial push off the accumulation generated by pre-market. And it's once you see it over and over and over and over again, it's going to be one of those things where you just kind of get used to it.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can find another one here.
That's where I'm trying to get to, where like for y'all it's just instincts. Like y'all spot this, y'all can go to a chart and just be like, oh yeah, this is that.
Man, it's like learning a language. It's difficult, but once you learn it, dude, you could just speak it, and it doesn't take any work. I can remember where I was, in the sense that like I remember being just looking at a chart and just seeing numbers and lines and just not knowing what the hell was going on. Eventually, you see it starts to tell a story. Honestly, it starts to tell like every single candle comes with a story. It's like what's happening. And honestly, all the market is a buy and sell war between buyers and sellers. Even using trend lines, using SMC, it doesn't really matter. You can always kind of find your story. So right here is another little channel that was being created. Now this is just because it was 11 o'clock, right? Usually around 11 o'clock it gets really choppy. That's why I stopped trading at 11. But right here we had very, very, very slow manipulation. But even if you make a trend line here and a trend line here, you can see we get a very obvious break from the trend line. Like this is very obvious, right? We're broken 10 points below the trend line. not reactions off it, but very clearly break it. And then after that, we rock right back into it, and a buy position somewhere in here wouldn't be the worst thing ever. You try to go for something in here if you were using an order block, because you do get a sweep here. I wouldn't trade obviously because of the time. It's not ideal, right? But you do get your manipulation. This is accumulating manipulation. We sweep this low. I would have loved to get both lows here, but this low is technically all you really need for manipulation. And then as soon as we manipulate, we get their distribution straight to the upside. And we could even go. You could even go more targets than this. You could go up here. This would probably be your last target. Looks like it didn't quite make it. No, it would have stopped you out of break even, but that's a 1-9 RR. That's pretty rare that you get the full 1-9. Hopefully that helps. I mean, it's like once you see it, man, once you see it over and over and over and over again, it is truly like it's like trying to learn a different language and then just living in the country or the place where they speak it. Like you'll just every single day you'll be exposed to it more and more and more, and you'll just look at these lines and you'll see it. It's really honestly, it's not even that difficult. Probably after a few months, you'll start to really, really change your perspective, and you can look at a naked chart and just start drawing shit out. You just see it, It's crazy, but it's a place you'll get probably pretty soon, man.
Yeah, I mean, no, this is like a school to me. I mean, I'm not gonna be missing any live sessions, any like, you know what I mean? This is like now, I'm taking this more serious than I did before, for
Well,
sure.
you have more drive than most, man, because there's seven people in this even in this Discord. Granted, I need to be a little more apt about posting my announcements and whatnot. But there's like 7 people in here, and a lot of them are my close friends, and even then, they still well, okay. Granted, some of them are working, so I'll give them a little bit of a break on that. But a lot of people
True.
they say they want to get into trading, and they just don't show up. That's the biggest thing, man. Keep showing up, and you'll learn. You'll learn quickly, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
And the
that's why
next
I
best
mean, I
thing.
need to ask
No, go ahead.
questions.
What's that?
I said that's. I mean, that's why I like to ask questions. I don't want to be annoying or anything because I
No, you're
mean, I
good,
know
man.
it's a little off
I've,
whenever like,
I've been where you
you
are,
know.
dude. I'm still learning myself. I mean, if I get somebody who's better than me, I'm bet your ass I'm asking questions. So it's no problem. Obviously, if I can do something to help you out here, it's definitely worth asking the questions, right? See if we can
It's
find.
crazy.
What's
It's
that?
crazy how that setup was because it made total sense, right? With accumulation and the manipulation, and then
That was a
going up.
really really good setup. I mean, even all the way to like the thing is, it's all linear across all the time frames. You'll see it on seriously all time frames. Gold, it's crazy. Gold is one that is really, really obvious. Gold really, really likes to look pretty. Even if you look at this chart here, I'll or even if you just pull up a naked chart, I mean, it's pretty obvious where you can pull up places, and I think these are our sessions. Oh, these are
Do you
not
trade
sessions.
gold?
I used to. I don't as much anymore. Just
Is that a
because
part of futures or no?
what's that?
What is gold a part of?
Gold is a
Like,
commodity, so it's part of futures.
commodity?
So this
Oh,
is
okay.
trading the futures of gold. So because
Mm.
obviously futures are a contract, you can trade contracts based off of commodities. So gold, oil, you can trade fucking sheep if you want to. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, you could do corn. You could trade corn, dude. If you want to trade corn futures, you can. If you want to trade wheat futures, you can. They're obviously not as volatile as the big ones. I used to trade platinum. I used to trade gold. I trade oil. I traded oil a lot. There's also like Bitcoin futures in that, but you just need to make sure you have a full chart. Um, let's see if we can find something here on the 5 minute from this morning. Let's see. We obviously got to find the session times because you're not gonna just. Yeah, gold is just so pretty. That's what I like about gold. It's a very pretty commodity, but it's like the thing is if you start on gold, it's gonna be tricky to trade NQ. Um, learning NQ is kind of like, it's like learning how to ride a horse by first riding a bull, if that makes sense. It's like it gives you maybe like this insane, over exaggerated definition of just riding an animal. And then once you tame NQ, you can really, really honestly trade anything, especially with ICT. Even if you watch this. So I'm going to use my accumulation more in terms of like trend lines and triangles because that's just the easiest way, the way I've been taught. Now, trend lines are tricky because you do have to, now there's a learning curve with trend lines. It's not as simple as, looking for a gap. It is tricky to actually go in and, mark out these trend lines, mark out where you see the prominent highs and prominent lows, because you do need to be able to mark out, obviously, where prominent highs are versus just, internal highs. This would have been one. You could honestly do both ways. If you really wanted to, you could count this as manipulation, this is distribution, or you could count this as manipulation, which was the true setup, right? If you saw this happening, this right here, and then you see it react, and then you see it push down here, and then you're getting pushes back up, this is probably an indication that that's most likely not your manipulation. The thing is, it's so hit or miss. It can manipulate, and it always looks different, right? And sometimes the manipulation looks like this. Sometimes you get something where it's a double manipulation, right? There's a lot of times where this happens as well, where you'll get stops taken out here, stops taken out here, and then you'll get the true push, right? It's where is it breaking out is where you need to know. And with manipulation, remember, you're never trading the breakout. You're always going to be trading retracements to order blocks or fair value gaps. You're never, or equilibrium as well. You're never going to be trading the, or I guess Fibonacci's. Okay, there's a lot of entryways, right? You're never trading the actual breakout. So when you see bullshit like this, just know that you're not trading this, right? So you're watching, you're waiting for price to develop. This is on the 5 minute. You see this manipulation here, you're like, oh, all right, that's our manipulation. Comes back down, then it comes back up. You're like, okay, interesting. We're testing the inside of the trend line again. We get pushed down, and then by the time this happens and we get rejection off this, we're knowing now that like it's popping its head out, it's coming back in, coming down again. It's clearly not, shoving through this area with any force. That's how you know this was just a double manipulation, right? So if you get this area up here and then it shoves down, but you're not getting big displacement. Displacement is usually pretty obvious. You can see the sellers stepping in this case, the sellers, but you can see the volume come in with the candle size. I mean, right? It's going to look like people are coming in and the market is pushing. You're going to see a pretty big push. You see wicks like this, wicks like this. Both these wicks are indicators that it's probably not the distribution down here. This wasn't the true manipulation, and we're getting another manipulation down here to the downside. That's also why you never trade into areas of like if you're close here, you're not going to want to trade into this area because this could very well just be a sweep, and we want to watch reactions off this. So we did get a double manipulation on this. It's just something that happens, honestly, quite often. But the good news is, when you get a double manipulation, it's pretty easy to see that, okay, we swept here. This is very clearly the true manipulation. We get a sweep here, and look at this push, right? Now that is a very obvious push to me. That like, okay, this is the true move. This is where we're actually breaking out of this accumulation. And then the cherry on top, here's your trade. It looks like, wow, damn, yep. We have a fair value gap here. And a perfect retracement right to this fair value gap. You would put, and this is your ICT trade all day. For me, I like my limit at equilibrium of the gap if you can. So I'd be somewhere around there. Stops below, for me, the trend line. I like to come in here and hope there's another manipulation. It just helps that RR a little bit more. Targeting probably these external highs. And there's your trade. It's a 1 to 4. Works out perfectly. A little bit easier to spot, obviously, when you can see all the price, but just another way to find the manipulation for this morning, right? So 9:30, you get your manipulation originally at 9:30, right at market open. Pushes up. Boom, here's your trade, 10:40. It takes a minute. We are on the 5 minute. But if you're trading ICT and SMC and you're doing these big targets anyway, you're going to be likely on the 5 minute for most of it until you're really trying to find your entries. And then you're going to be finding gaps like this or like this, you know, and then you're going to be entering off of that. Really, you could do a handful of entry models. And that's going to get a little more complicated, but you can go and take entry off the fibs. So you could do like a 60% level, which is very popular as well. Stops here, targets here, even honestly targeting external if you really wanted to. And it looks like external. Ooh, it almost got swept. Not quite. That's a lot of rambling. Honestly, it's a lot to take in. This is going to be recorded. I would probably recommend watching that back if it doesn't quite make sense. This is just a great example for gold. That's a way to use trend lines and accumulation to obviously find areas where it might manipulate and then distribute. It will make sense the more you see it, man. It will make sense. And honestly, it probably already does make more sense than maybe you even think it does. It's like you can probably go on a chart and, you know, find this shit. The big key
Yeah, I
is
was
make sure
thinking
you're
that.
watching market open. What's that?
Yeah, I was thinking that it makes more sense, and it's crazy the two manipulations back to back. That could be a mind fuck, to be honest.
Oh, it is a mind fuck, man, and that's why you don't trade. You're not a trader off of I'm guessing this is going to be the manipulation. You're going to trade when you know it is, right? When you see
Yeah.
this push up and you're like, okay, this is very clearly a breakout. Here we come back in. Let's put a position in at this order block. And sometimes, dude, I mean, it's still trading, man. You're playing probabilities, so sometimes it will just flush right through this, and it'll be a triple manipulation. Sometimes it won't even set up SMC. Sometimes it'll come up like this and give you an amazing looking trade. Another reason why you got to trade with the trend, trade with the higher time frame trend. You know, you got to look at like the 1 hour, the daily. You know, you got to look at where you are in terms of high time frame fair value gaps, and you know, you got to try to find ways to add confluence to make it a little more obvious. Wow, this looks better in the 15-minute. But yeah, peek up, peek down, throw that price in the air and grab some targets. That's also gold. NQ is a little bit choppier than gold, especially these months. Sometimes gold's a little choppier, sometimes NQ is. Lately, gold's been great, and NQ has been not so great, especially these last couple months. It's definitely a hard time to trade. If you can learn how to trade now, you will be very, very successful in the future. I mean, this is like the hardest conditions I've ever seen. This was 2 years ago, and I had the kind of psychology, and I was profitable like I am now. It would be if it'd be night and day, man. I'd be buying some crazy shit and making a hella bread. But I mean, it's the times, right? We gotta get to the hard times so we can get to the easy times again, and we can just start printing. You can print in the hard times, man. The easy times are gonna look they're gonna look really, really nice. It's gonna be really fun.
Sheesh. I just want to know, because you explained it so well on why you would buy in the situation in the NQ, right?
Yep.
Why you would buy, and what was TGR's perspective in selling? Why did he sell?
Why he
If
stole?
all those, or I'm sorry, you explained earlier that TGR lost, right? Like what?
Yeah.
Why did he lose? Like how did he not see the confluences that you were calling out?
I think so one thing is bias, right? You're always gonna like some people, the way they see price, it's always gonna be different, right? So what TJR saw, it's honestly kind of crazy. I don't know how he saw us sweep all these London lows and still thought that trading into this manipulation was a good idea. And I think he even explains this in the video. I don't think it was a very good idea. I think he blames price a little bit. I didn't watch the whole video. I saw the TikTok, but I'm gonna go ahead and assume what he saw was we saw London session accumulation, right? And then we saw this is your London session all the way through here, even down to here. This was all London session. So I'm assuming what he saw was our pre-market session opens. We sweep out all of London, right? We get pre-market opening. We sweep out all of London. Now the thing that I don't get is we're clearly on the 1 minute, 15-minute, 10-minute. We're clearly trending upwards. I don't know. I don't know why he went for shorts when it's clearly an uptrend. Just I don't know. Uh, this was where the trade was right here. We were trending up on the 15-minute. We broke structure here, especially after sweeping these lows. I'm assuming TJR, and I can't speak for him obviously, but he saw this accumulation. He saw the sweep here, and in his mind, this sweep of all of this accumulation, was the manipulation, and then he was waiting for some move to go down, and I think he actually he traded ES, which did look different. On ES, it actually looked a lot better. So if you look on the ES this morning, we held a gap for a very, very long time. Let's see, this morning we have. This was the trade he took on ES. Okay, you know what? ES looks better than NQ for shorts this morning. I just don't trade ES really, so it looked a little bit different. But if you look, I'm assuming what he was thinking was we had our manipulation here, and then so we had an SMT, which if you look in here, we have a high here, right?
Yeah.
High here, and then we had another high here. This high was taken by this high. This high wasn't, or it was equal. It was close. So we had a bearish SMT, and then price, after getting that bearish SMT, grabbed this this high up here, and then just chopped off, came down, and then we reacted off this 5-minute because he took his shorts on this 5-minute here. And he was going down, and look how long we were in this 5-minute versus where we were on NQ. Honestly, I don't know. I didn't see shorts today at all, to be honest with you. I was looking at the overall trend. I'm assuming, though, he just saw this accumulation, saw the sweep of all the London session on ES, and then waited for it to dump down. And then as soon as we get this break of structure on the, I'm assuming probably 1 hour, 15-minute maybe, he saw the retrace of that gap and just shorted. But yeah, no, that's a great question, and you can even hear me somewhat stammering. Because I don't know. I don't know why he took shorts, to be honest with you. He's a great trader, but he also does trade really, really high time frame shit. Clearly, he thought that in the higher time frames, we were going to be trending bearish today. Difference of opinion. Obviously, he got his bias, I got mine. My bias ended up being correct today. You know, there's some days where maybe his bias is correct. I mean, it depends, you know. Obviously, he's made a lot of money. He does well for himself. He's definitely a better trader than I am. But yeah, no, today he was wrong. I will say a lot of times when I go watch his trades and I watch my trades, a lot of times they're the same trades, you know, or they're very similar, you know, taken in the same area. But yeah, I mean, that's honestly an amazing question. Don't really know is the true answer. Watch his TikTok, see what he says. Honestly, now after this, I might go watch his TikTok and go see, because yeah, that's a really interesting as to why he went short on that. Yeah, he would have went short right here. Just an SMT is all I see. I said that SMT earlier. Obviously, there was a bearish SMT. We broke structure on the 5-minute, and then we retraced to a 5-minute bearish gap. That was apparently enough for him. Apparently, after sweeping all of London accumulation, manipulation, breakup structure on the 5-minute, and then a retrace to the 5-minute gap was enough for him. I don't know why he would trade that into sweeping all this really high time frame liquidity, but that's his trade. You know, his trade's different than mine. Good question, though. I'm curious now. Honestly, I'm going to go watch his TikTok. I didn't watch. That's just me speculating. I have no idea why he lost. I saw earlier that he lost, and I just watched the quick TikTok. I think he lost like 19,000 or something. So I saw the title, and I saw that he lost. I didn't really go in depth into why he lost. But yeah, I'll go check and see after this. You have anything else?
Yeah, no, I mean, for now, that's about it. I just wanted to see the different perspectives, because I feel like that would give me a perspective in a way.
It's always,
seeing that.
man. It's whatever your bias is, right? Sometimes a lot of the times our biases align as traders, But there are some times where just, like, we just have different biases. Obviously, he was looking for shorts. I was looking for longs. I don't exactly know why he was looking for shorts in this market. To me, this looks really bullish, especially on the 15-minute, especially on the 5-minute. It's pretty clear we were going on an uptrend, and just knowing that it is NASDAQ in general. Yeah, I mean, uptrends usually, buying is usually the safer bet. But yeah, even the daily is an uptrend, 1 hour is an uptrend, 4 hours an uptrend. I don't know. For some reason, he decided to take shorts. Maybe it was all in an uptrend. I don't know why he took shorts. Obviously, he made a mistake because he lost, and I think price was also a lot better for what I do. I think the price for him was a little bit different, and he did blame price, but to be honest with you, I don't know why he didn't grab this trade. This is the more obvious trade in my opinion. Versus his, I guess. Both good traders. Nobody's necessarily wrong. Just difference of opinion, right? A lot of SMC is opinion based. All right, man. Well, if you don't have anything else, I'll wrap this up. We can talk more tomorrow. Maybe go over this. I don't know. We probably won't go over this trade again, but hopefully we get some good price action tomorrow. You got to be careful tomorrow. It's the day before CPI. A very potentially choppy day. Just don't need to be getting caught in the chop. That's one of those where it'll accumulate all AM session and instead of pre-market, and then you'll get accumulation all AM, and it'll do some dumbass bullshit where it'll break out for the PM session, and then you give your accumulation and your distribution during the PM versus during the AM when it probably should be. It does that a lot for CPI. Likes to chop around and just fuck off and give everybody a good mind fuck. But yeah, in my opinion, great price action today. I'm hoping to see more of it. I'll end the stream there. I'll upload that, and you can rewatch that if you want.